Hi, Umbraco gang. You can't see me today because I've packed up my camera. I'm moving. Anyway, that aside, I want to show you about Umbraco Cloud. Umbraco Cloud and V9. Yep, I'm excited for this, and I want to just jump in and show you a few bits. So here is the Umbraco Cloud portal. I've created a project. I've called it Umbraco Cloud Demo, and I've got one environment. Oh, thanks for that. And I'm going to go to the back office and we're going to start building our very basic site. So let's create a document type. I'm going to do, I don't know, home for now. And we'll make sure that it can be allowed as root. And then we'll add a tab, new in V9 and the latest version of 8.17. And we're just going to call this header and give it a text string, and that's it. That's all I'm going to have. Oh, helps if I call it something, home, and we click save. Then I've got a matching view or template. Again, I'm just going to make a very simple template, model.header, so that's the name of my property. Perfect. And let's go and create that piece of content. I can create it, create home, hello from Warren. Save and publish. That's all good. So with that done, let's just quickly check our site. Make sure I got something working. Cool. So next thing's next. I want to work locally. I've done maybe I'm gonna not work directly live on my site. Maybe it's best that I do some local development. So from the cloud portal, I can click here and go to clone project, and I get a git clone or repository URL. And I've copied it, and then I'm going to use my terminal, and we are going to just change directory for now, cloud testing, and then we're going to do git clone and then paste in the git clone URL. Nice and easy. Hit enter. I've already authenticated with Umbraco Cloud, hence it's not asked me for my username and password, but the first time you do, and you'll just need to authenticate. So I can change directory to Umbraco Cloud Demo, and let's just do code dot. Let's open this folder in Visual Studio Code just to see what we get. So you can see we've got a different kind of structure that's available to us. So we have a README. That's nice, isn't it? We've got a README now, telling us how to get up and running with our project. We've got and some different files, .umbraco file and a git ignore and things like that. But the project lives in source Umbraco project, and then you can see I have a CS proj. Previously, you'll notice that from Umbraco V8 sites on Umbraco Cloud, you would have had to maintain two separate repositories, like your code repository, where you're doing any customizations or custom code to your Umbraco project. You would compile that, and then you'd copy the binary or the output into the Umbraco Cloud Git repository and then push that up. The way that this is different is that with this CS proj, so we can open this in Visual Studio or JetBrains Rider or even Visual Studio Code if I wanted to. But when we do a git push up to the Umbraco Cloud repository, it's going to do our build for us. So we can do some things later on. We can add a separate secondary project. But for now, I am going to follow the instructions. And from here, I am going to change directory, source, Umbraco projects. Then I'm going to do a .NET build. And if you don't have the .NET CLI or commands running, again, there is a link here to download the .NET Core SDK. So it's built, and then I can do a .NET run, and then I should get some output in the terminal saying that it's all nicely spun up. So you can see it's building, it's creating a bunch of database tables because it's the first time it's been run locally. And down here you can see it's got now listening on HTTPS and HTTP, so different ports. Even if you open on this port or the HTTP, we're going to redirect to the HTTPS. So let's click that just to show it works. There you go, it's redirecting. And I can now click the magic restore button. So this is going to restore that one piece of content. Not very exciting, but it will already be there now. And then I log in. Perfect. You can see I have my piece of content. So let's do some work. Let's add a folder, and we'll call this compositions. And then let's create a composition type, and then we'll call this SEO. Give it, I don't know, search magnifying glass, SEO, and we'll give this page title. Again, for now, text string, nothing that exciting. So now I want to update my home document type with the composition of the SEO, because maybe this is a reusable properties. Maybe I want to add it to a text page and a blog article page and things like this. This is kind of something common over and over again. You can notice though that SEO tab has come first before content, and that's probably not what I want. So save that, and then let's go back to SEO, reorder, and then let's give this, I don't know, a value of 10 or something. Save that, go back to home. So yeah, it's content, then SEO. So can you see my page title? So we'll save and publish that. And the answer is going to be no, because we haven't updated our template. So let's do some very basic HTML. Head, title, and model.page title. And then a body with oh dear, can't use keyboard today, clearly. And then we'll move our header into our body tag. Perfect. So let's check that works locally. Hello from Warren. Can you see my page title? Perfect. That looks good. I want to deploy that change. I want to push that to live. So from my terminal, I'm going to stop the website for now. So Control C. There we go. And we'll do a git status. So you can see it knows that we've modified two files. So we've modified the home template and the home document type. It knows that we obviously added some bits in regards to excuse me, the composition. And then you can see it's trying to add two new files, the document type container, yeah, which is just a folder, and the other one, the document type, which was the composition type. So if I just do git add dot, so add all the files please to staging, and then if I do git status, you can see these are all green. Then I can do a git commit hyphen or M, so what's going to be the git commit message, adding SEO comp, composite comp, because I can't spell, SEO comp. Then we'll do a git push, and from the push, it's good to maybe do it from a command line or a git application that allows you to see what is coming back from the terminal or the command line. So in here you can see, okay, it's updated the branch, it's pushed our commits, and now it's telling us it's actually doing a .NET build. It's copying Umbraco forms files, it's copying stuff from root from the static assets of the Umbraco package. And then I just obviously have to wait a moment or two for the rest of my build to just finish up here. So you can see that it's copying the deploy artifacts, and then you can see it noticed that there was some deploy work to do, so it should have done that on the live environment for us. So we should see the new properties added to our document type, or property even added to our document type. So let's go back, and then let's refresh here. You can see I've got my new tab, and I've got nothing in the content because I haven't actually decided that from my local that I want to push up this specific content. So we can do that now. So if we go back to my Windows terminal, and we're going to rerun, so .NET run in the specific source Umbraco project folder. And then we can refresh the back office. Now it's running. And from here, I can right click on home, or the three dots here, and I can say queue for transfer. Queue this content item up for transfer. And we're going to say transfer to live. And that blue bar went across, and I got a successful message. And if we come back here and refresh, he says, let's refresh here then. Let's make sure that the content did come up. Yeah, can you see my page title? Let's double check our template. Strange. So let's do a save and publish here. So the content did come up, but it didn't output it to the template. Okay, maybe a weird quirk, maybe just me. We'll see, we'll see. So that was just a quick flow in terms of working directly on Umbraco Cloud, cloning the repository down, and then working to add some more document types, and then pushing that back up to cloud along with transferring some content. So now we've done that, let's do something a little bit more funky or more interesting, shall we say. So I've got too many things open as per usual, and this is the Git repository for this website or this project. So for source, let's actually go back. Have we got Visual Studio Code open? Yeah. So we can read some of the further comments. We've got the stuff about the project structure and how it works. But we can got some bits here how we can rename the project file and folder. So you might not want to have your CS project called Umbraco project. You might want to call it something else. So let's kind of follow these steps. So let's do what it says. You could rename Umbraco project to myawesome.project.web.csproj. So yeah, okay. Rename, and we'll rename our folder. That is because we are still running the website and we still got Windows Terminal open. So we'll try again. There we go. And what else do we need to rename? We can then, excuse me, get rid of the bin and obj folders, because this will get rebuilt after the rebuild. So we can probably do some of this in Visual Studio Code, can we? So in program, let's get some matching namespaces. myawesomeproject.web, and in the startup as well. Perfect. Now we need to rename or update this .umbraco file at the root. So you can see where is the base is where is the folder that contains the CS proj. So in our case, we've now renamed it to source myawesomeproject.web, myawesomeproject.web, and then we're going to ask what is the name of the CS proj file in that location, and then obviously we renamed it, so that's what it is. So this makes sure that when Umbraco Cloud is pushed up to the Git repository, it knows where to look in terms of MS build and building stuff out. So yeah, that's what we are doing here. So we've done that step, and we've renamed our namespaces, and we've renamed our folder. I think that's good, but we've got some additional steps we can do. We can add a solution. So let's do that. So let's do it from the root of the repository, because I know that's where this needs to be run. So we could add .NET new solution, and then we're going to give it a name, my awesome solution. That's been created. You can see that's down here on the left-hand side. Then we can do one or two things. We can run some of these commands down here to create a class library, and then tell the tool to add our existing web project and our code project to the solution file. But for now, I'm going to do it the more visual way. I've got a solution, and then I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to go add existing project, and too many things open. There we go. This one, and this one. And then I can add a new project, a class library project. So I could have something like my awesome project.code. Let's put this in the source and say live there. And we want it to use .NET 5. Let's just double check, created it correctly. Yep, that looks good. Cool. So we could use one of .NET 5's newer features, or .NET's newer features, which is Razor tag helpers. So let's create one of them. Let's create an if tag helper. This is a basic example, but we can then say that this class inherits from a tag helper. And this is a tag helper class that comes from Microsoft. Oh, here we go. Microsoft ASP.NET Core Razor, and it's going to install the package. So that was me just alt entering and letting IntelliCode or IntelliSense to help do that for me. Perfect. Then we can do an override, and then we can do a process. So when this tag helper runs, it's going to process this piece of code. So we are going to be super lazy. Rather than me talk about tag helpers and go off a bit of a divergent, we're just going to do a bit of copy and paste for now. Oh. But to quickly summarize, this tag helper will run against any HTML element on the page only if it has an attribute that has ASP-if assigned to it. If it does, then it's going to run this class. We can then assign this ASP-if to a property, and then what this is then doing, if it doesn't match the predicate, then we're going to remove the HTML from the page. So nice and easy. Right, so let's add a project reference. So dependencies, and then we're going to right click dependencies and add project reference. myawesomeproject.code, click OK. You can see there it is, it's added it down here. We'll save that. And now we want to use it. So how we use it or consume a TagHelper very quickly is that in Umbraco views, view imports, you can see we've got other TagHelpers, the ones that comes from Microsoft themselves, and we've got some from Smidge from Shannon. So we can do the same again. We can add a TagHelper, add every TagHelper that you find in this assembly. So in our case, ours is, once it gets compiled to DLL, it's called myawesomeproject.code, not core, .code. And then we could have so we could have this ASP if, and then we could do something like, I don't know, string is null or empty. Is this the right way around? My brain is hurting too much from testing. If it's null or empty, then show the header. Let's get started. Then we can test this. You can run from Visual Studio. And it's running over on a tab over here in the background. Come on, start warming up. Okay. So as we renamed some of our stuff, the view import still expects that our project is called Umbraco Project. So there was one place that I forgot to update. So in the view imports, this now needs to be myawesomeproject.web. Let's see if we can just refresh with that change. Okay, fine. Models builder's not happy with me. Let's restart. Oh, let's see what the build errors are. What did I miss? And I've got this models.error file that lives in Umbraco models. Process cannot access the file because it's being used by another process. Let's just double check. The terminal is not accessing it. I'm not running it from a different site. So let's delete this kind of error. Thank you. Do a build. So Control-Shift-B in my case. We do a run. Okay, so it's obviously the inverse of what I was expecting, and I obviously didn't check my code. So if this evaluates to true, is null or empty. Oh, brain. But it's not null or empty, is it? It's false. And this will show. And then we could have another one. No header set for now. Right. Perfect. Let's refresh. Hello from Warren, and then let's log in. Doesn't help. I'm on my personal profile. Let's change. Sign in. I'm good. And then let's remove this and visit the page. You can see now I've got no header set. So I can have conditional stuff. I could obviously then check if a property existed or not, or some other condition to show or hide extra markup that I want on the page. Anyway, so that was showing how we add a class library into our existing cloud project. Now I'm going to push this after we've renamed it, added a solution, added another class library that references into the main project. We're going to push this and we're going to cross our fingers that this just works. However, hint, hint, it does. So let's go back to Windows Terminal. Let's do a get status, see what's outstanding. Thinks a lot of it is deleted, but this should be renamed. So when we do get add dot and then do a get status, did I not do get dot add dot and get status? Still shows as deleted. Let's come up and do it from the root just to be there we go, that's a little bit better. If we're doing it from the root, it shows as renamed now as opposed to deleted. I was trying to bit confused. I was a bit confused there. So you can see that we've modified the .umbraco file. That was telling, or will tell Umbraco Cloud when you do a build in the cloud, where is the CS proj and where's the folder. We've added a solution file. We've added a new class library and a very single TagHelper from .NET Core. We've then renamed a lot of stuff, so we just moved it into a different folder, and that's it really. So let us do a git commit added TagHelper, and then we'll do a git push, and then we'll watch this build in the cloud. So you can see it's picked up my code project and the web project after the renames and things. It's compiled them, all good. And it's now doing the copying and bits and pieces that it needs to do. So now it's built our stuff, it now needs to run a tool called Kudu Sync in the background, or in when it's doing this next step, to compare what has changed with the running site and copy over the files that it only needs to. In this case, it's copied a lot more than I thought that it would need to, but it's probably because we've done a rename, and it's probably, yeah. In normal cases, it would only copy what we need to, but yeah, as we've done a rename, it's taken a lot more. And then it's done an Umbraco deploy. Perfect. Not that we've done any deploy changes that time round, but due to the rename, it thinks it needs to. So cool. Let's go to the cloud again. Let's log into the back office, or just visit cloud and find my one of. Helps if I'm in the right browser profile. So let's refresh cloud. We can then go to view page. All seems good. Let's test our code changes work with our TagHelper, with our conditional ASP if. And then let's go to home, and then let's remove the content, save and publish, and then I know header set works. So that is it. That is showing how awesome Umbraco 9 and Umbraco Cloud is. We've managed to work locally, push stuff back to Git in terms of adding new properties and schema with deploy. We've also shown how to rename the CS proj, or the project name that we give you out of the box from Umbraco Cloud, add a solution and add a secondary class library for you to do your customizations if you prefer to work that way, rather than adding those class or changes directly to the main project. And you can see it all just works. It's amazing. I'm excited for V9. I'm looking forward to see what you get up to and what you build with V9. Let me know once you've built something. I would love to see what you've done. Until next time, have fun, happy hacking, and a happy V9 launch day.